are due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Redskins. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. First carry for Samaje Perine, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Again, here's Perine. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
Play action for Perine. Now Cousins. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Cousins a handoff. This is Perine. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable. And you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Looking left side. It's complete. He's got it. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Well, a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Sheldon Richardson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Cousins. Wide open receiver complete. And he will have the 1st before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback? Or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing so things aren't as precise as they've been so far in this game.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And our statistician, Ben Ramsauer, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss only in the first quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's headset right now because what you're hearing is, can someone please block him? Come up with a scheme. Come up with something. Make sure you block him because he's disrupting everything.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this has started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. Oh, long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. 2nd and goal to go now. They'll go to P-Ryan, trying to pound it in. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And now here's a carry heading left. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So now it's 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look. 6 DBs. Prescott from the gun. And that's caught by Beasley. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. A Dallas 1st down. Prescott hooking up with Beasley.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's got some space here. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon. From the red zone now, Prescott. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Jonathan Allen in there to get him for a loss of 5.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Prescott now on second down. Flushed out right. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rat, right? R-A-C?
Right. After catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This one taken from the 7. Now a hit and a loose football. And I think he was able to get back on it. He was. So they will get the ball after all, but that could have been a disaster.
I didn't do this in college, but I did it in high school. When you return kicks and you lose it yourself, the panic that goes through you and the determination to get the ball back, I don't even know how to describe it. And I think we just saw an example there.
Yeah, and the relief when you get it back like he did.
Yeah, you go to the sidelines, you know you're going to get yelled at, but you can handle it because you got the ball back.
The drive starts with a handoff to Pirine, and not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. A little educational piece. I know a lot of people hear 3-4, 4-3, etc. Take us through the 4-3, Charles.
Okay, 4-3. 4 down defensive linemen, usually 2 defensive tackles, 2 defensive ends. Behind them, the 3 those are the linebackers. The middle linebacker, often known as the Mike, with 2 outside linebackers, the Sam and the Will. There's your 4-3.
Sam on the strong side, Will on the weak side.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Play action now. Cousins. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Then he'll give it here to his running back. And the ball is knocked out into the Redskins. Have it they do. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that, that when they've tried too hard, Even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Footing's definitely going to be an issue because it's tough to make those quick cuts that you're used to making on a soggy track. In fact, a Hall of Fame runner once told me, cut on your heels in this type of weather. Gives you better balance.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Out to the left here to Reed. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And Frank's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they recover the fumble but could not take advantage of the short field. They do get 3.
And no one ever turns down 3 points going up on the board, but the offense will go to the sidelines wondering what if, while the defense on the other side, they'll celebrate holding them to just a field goal after giving up such bad field position.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over. Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Nice job by the defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Throw left side complete. That's Cross. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Throwing, Prescott. An incomplete, crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the 1st half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. He's going to float this one deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He's going to air one out. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Following the interception, Cousins under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jalen Smith coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Cousins to Pirine on the draw. A nice move gets him a few extra. Down just shy of his 20. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a third and still about 12 to go. The Redskins on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is third down and 12. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. They'll run again with Pirine, and he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Tressway now, standing just outside his own goal line. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taken in at the 22. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. First down now, but the clock continues to move. And they give this time to the tailback. And a short gain down to about the 33. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Nine yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Play action now. Prescott eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up third down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. To throw is Prescott. And he couldn't hang on. Almost an interception there defensively. Instead, it brings up 4th.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
So we've reached... never mind, Larry. Forget your halftime report. Apparently, we are set for the 3rd quarter of action already. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. A first-half update now from Philadelphia. And the Eagles out in front early. Carson Wentz with 1 touchdown pass thus far. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. As they run the counter play. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
Finding room inside the 40. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Hard throw, incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, This feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that will knot us up at 10. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front seven. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They start on the ground with Pirine, and he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Airing one out for Crowder. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot. Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. Fielded just inside the 20. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Prescott. Forced out to his left. He's got the hook up with Conley. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
And to give this time to the tailback. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
That's a football play right there. That takes me back a little bit. Toss sweep to the right. Get it to your back. Get a lot of people out in front. Control the line of scrimmage. Wide receivers blocking downfield. It almost feels like half the crowd is in front of him, getting it down to the secondary. They have a tough time getting him down.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he loses the football a second time. Into the Redskins have it, they do.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys have to touch the ball and carry it. They're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
It's P-Ride to begin the drive. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And ready now for 2nd and 9. Cousins gives this to P-Ride. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 5. On play action, Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
False start. Offense.
Now they nabbed the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
Now a carry for P-Ride. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Now P-Ride looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. The Redskins on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd down and 12. Play fake. Cousins. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And some room to work. And a super return as he gets this all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirt.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Only a yard on the gain there as time will run out on this third quarter of play. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Cowboys with the football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the fourth. So they run it on second down. Now let's see what third down brings here for the offense. Here's Prescott. Going to throw deep for the end zone. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on third down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Now Cousins. Crowder's got it over the middle. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Third and long for Cousins. He'll drop it off to Pirine, complete. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. They go play action here on first down. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But the Redskins look to get this one back, and indeed they did. It's still Washington football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now Cousins, and he's going to go down again.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Here's Cousins. He'll get this out to his running back, Pirine. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A big pickup, 18 yards, but they still stop him well short of the marker.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up in the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5. A handoff as they run the counter play. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And his kick is good. Not by much. It was leaking oil in the end, but he tucks it in the bottom right corner. On the NFL scoreboard there in the 4th quarter in Philadelphia. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Carson Wentz hovering around 300 yards passing and a couple of touchdown throws as well. On the return, here's a speedy Jamison Crowder. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
On the catch, it's Crowder. And a nice gain of 21 yards. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. A 2nd down throw for Cousins. Setting up the screen to Pirine. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Completed pass on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down as the defense looks for the stop. Cousins now from the 50. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He finds his target. It's Crowder. Touchdown, Washington. Jamison Crowder, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are able to make this a close game again. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers. That meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way to the end zone for the touchdown.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And the offense here just looking to stay in bounds, complete the short passes, and put this game on ice. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Out of the gun, here's Prescott being chased out left, and that is incomplete. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is brought in at the 21. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Clock running, about to hit 90 seconds to go in the game.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Reed. Cousins to his big target. Reed and the Redskins have a 1st down. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. They'll look to throw. This one caught by Crowder. And he is leveled. Knocked down hard, right near midfield. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Back to throw. Out to the left here to Reed. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. He's back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense Fields has a touchdown.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What, you mean with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Bailey now for the extra point. And the lead is now 13. Elsewhere, fourth quarter score now for Baltimore. No problem for the Steelers. They have opened that lead up a bit further. Russell Wilson, a touchdown pass to help lead the way. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded at the 8. And he is knocked down from the side. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now.
And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Play action for P-Ryan. Now Cousins. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. The Cowboys on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun.